Hi everyone, Jeremy here from Flatware Creations. I just was making a bunch of semicolon pendants. We have a mental health show coming up, and towards the end of January. We've been making these semicolons for the last couple of years. Might be a better view of it. The semicolon represents hope and love to those who are struggling with depression, suicide, addiction, or self-injury. And it's a reminder of keeping going instead of stopping, such as period would be semicolon, let you continue. So it's been a big movement. You can search it under semicolon movement on Google and find a lot more information. And when I made the first one of these, I made it in a spoon because I make silverware jewelry. So I used the spoon, and then I found out from a customer at a show that there was something called the spoon theory. And the spoon theory uses the spoons as a unit of energy. So what it is it's a reduced amount of mental and physical energy used for daily living and to be productive throughout the day. And a lot of times, I forget what the website's called, but it has to do with the illnesses that we can't see. So that person looks perfectly fine, but they're dealing with lupus or fibromyalgia or a handful of other diseases and things that you can't see on the outside. So the way it was explained was a spoon, you wake up and you have so many spoons to use for the day. Every task that you do, everything that you do, mentally or physically, costs some amount of spoons as the energy. Once those spoons are gone, you have nothing left. You can only regain those spoons through rest. So it was kind of a twofer. One, we help spread the suicide prevention and mental health, and then we have the chronic illness through the spoons. And they've been really great. It's always nice to see our customers at a show, ooh, a semicolon, and they really brings the awareness. They can share it with their friends, and then it really helps all around. So today I was going to quickly show you how I make these. They're not too difficult. You just need a couple tools. You need a punch. I made a stencil. That's not working. There we go. I made a stencil. I don't really use this one here anymore. I just use this one. It's 2 holes, just drilled out in a little piece of plastic, and I have a line going down the length of it. That helps me center it up in the spoon. And these holes from center to center is about 1/2 inch. That's just what I use. We'll need a marker, a Sharpie. The important part is a step down bit. I have this marked at 8. Actually, it's marked on the 9th drop down, so I'm only going 8. But depending on the size spoon, let's see. So this one is definitely a lot bigger holes than this guy here. And I think there's a tiny one in here. Yep. And this little tiny guy right here. There we go. So I just base it off how big the piece is. And we'll need another drill bit just to make a pilot hole. And so here's how I started out. I've already made all of the holes because these are going to be pendants or keychains. So I already did the work on these top holes. They just need a jump ring to be done. So I marked out my holes, or my parts. I am gonna try and get you guys on top of everything. I'm just going to punch these. And I'm just going to take them right over here. Let's see if I can keep you out of the way there. So this is about 3 sizes up from my 16th. I'm not sure what that is, but it's bigger than my 16th. Little beeswax. So now we have our 2 base holes. So there's our 2 holes. And I built this little jig just to go in my vise. It's just a piece of wood, just a scrap piece of wood I had, and there's a hole drilled out in the middle. It's actually like 2 holes. It's basically 2 of these. So I just lock that in my vise. And you can use screws for these. You can use anything. These were from an old tie hanger thing I had. I just drilled a hole, leave it up a little bit. And that is so that our spoon can fit in there. Because as you're drilling it, it's going to want to spin. And it'll just get ripped right out of your fingers and go flying. So I take my a little clamp. You can use any kind of clamp, and I'm just clamping this corner. So I make sure that I've got it pressed against that and against this one. Okay, so we're tight. So I'm going to go down, this is a full-size teaspoon. I'm going to go down until my black mark is, I don't want to go over the black mark, so I want to go right up to where it's right here. It's set too bright right there. Maybe it's this one. There we go. Okay, so now you can see how I have this set. It's basically just being caught here. And then this one keeps it from flying out. So I'm going to take my step down bit. I'm just going to start at the top and let the drill and the bit do the work. You don't need to force it down or anything. So there's that. Your spoon is going to be hot, so be careful. And we'll get rid of this. Alright, so we have our spoon. Still pretty warm. But there's flashing on the back. So we're going to take and make sure. I'm going to take my Dremel tool, whatever you have that you use to, if you're grinding. This is just a sanding disc or a sanding wheel. And I'm just trying to take off those burrs without creating a lot of extra cleanup work. I'm just trying to make sure that it's nice and smooth. There we go. Nice and smooth going across. You want to do the front too. It's not going to be as bad as the back. So just going around it nice and easy. There we go. So everything's nice and smooth. Now what we have to do is we have to draw our semicolon. So what I like to do is go from the outside, so this outside edge, I'll go down about the length of the hole, and the tip ends about this line. So it's staying within the line, within the hole. And my center line comes right out the middle. So on this one, I want my center line to come down. Oops. It's going to come around to there. I can't do really fine jewelry because I shake too much. All right. This is my other block. So I'm starting from the outside edge. I'm just going to curl this around till it hits this line. And then this one here is going to come down and kind of meet up with it. So let me fill this in. You don't have to fill it in, I'm just doing it so that you can kind of see how it's going to work out. So there's our semicolon. So what we have to do now is cut it out with our jeweler's saw. So we've got here. For this, because there's no real angles to turn or anything, I'll show you how that works. So I take my saw, I loosen up the blade holder in the back. I'll put the blade through the hole. So what I'm looking at here is nothing. It's just the two holes. My marking is on the other side. So that goes right down to the front. This gets, and I put a little bit of pressure to tighten up the blade. Now we can cut out our semicolon. You only have to make one cut this way and one cut in the middle. So what I try and do also is, let me zoom in here. So when I'm cutting from this side, I'll put my right up against my block so that I can get it started. And then once it's started, I come off of that edge. It's hard to see without my light. What are you doing, Gus? Trying to be famous? You can't help. Can't help, buddy. It's Godzilla Cat. Alright, yes. Okay, so I've got this started. And this, I am going to make just a light little curve to get to that other side. So it's not a straight line. A little bit of beeswax here. And then you just back the blade out. And I'm going to come to the center. And I'm basically going to go just straight down until almost the very end. So there's the halfway point. And I'm going to curl it and try and hit my other line. Saw can go away. And what we're left with is our semicolon. We'll take and grind that again. We're just trying to take any burrs off. Nice and smooth. If you do have it not even over here, you can take a regular diamond bit and work that edge so that it smooths out to the way you like it. Let's see, so that's all the way out. Okay, so now we have our semicolon pendant. We just put a jump ring on it, toss it in the tumbler, and there you go, creating awareness. I hope you guys all have a great day. Remember to like, share, and subscribe.